Welcome to the Blue Fire Digital Network.
Welcome to the War is Everything podcast, where we share scripture, discuss the Christian metal scene and music, and help promote lesser-known bands. I'm Zachariah.
And I'm Hunter.
And we are your hosts.
Today's scripture reading comes from Ephesians 6, and it's 10 through 17, and it says, "Finally be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything, to stand. Stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God."
All right. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How about you guys?
I think everybody's just been busy trying to get the schedules to work out, but glad to finally get you on.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So this week's guest is Christian Roche. We usually do a scripture reading at the beginning, but we didn't pick a scripture necessarily specific to Demon Slayer. So I guess if you had one for us to read, we'll read it and add it to the beginning of the episode. But otherwise,
not offhand. No. Geez, I didn't really.
That's all right.
For that.
No, that's cool.
No, usually we pick something and go with that, but
I got
we'll get it in there. But yeah, we're glad to have Christian on with us from Diamonds to Dust for anybody who doesn't know what band he's from. Yeah, so it's been at least a small trial trying to get us to work together with the schedules because you work plenty.
Yeah, I work a lot. Yep. Yeah, I just got back from Pennsylvania. Yeah, last Friday. So I was out in Pennsylvania when we were trying to do it. And just based off of the situation, we were in the hotel room. I didn't really have the best of places to do something like this. So
that's right. We totally get it.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, I think we'll get right into it. Just talking about you and joining Diamonds to Dust. Because actually, fun fact, you're not the first vocalist of Diamonds to Dust.
No, I'm probably the seventh.
Holy cow! I did not know that.
Quite the lineup change. Yeah.
I assumed you were the second vocalist because, honestly, I had never heard of Diamonds to Dust until the last 2 years. And so when I first heard you guys, Corpus Christi was the first song I heard. So obviously that was post you joining.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I joined about 2 years ago. It was late 2018, around October.
That's 3 years ago.
Oh, God, yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, as of next year, next month. Yeah.
Son of a gun. Wow.
Just broken.
Huh. Yeah. Well, the time flies. I don't know. I'm a little shot and tired anyway. So, yeah, I guess about 3 years ago. And yeah, it was interesting. I'd always wanted to be in a band throughout high school, but just kids in my area never really were interested in music. And, it was a time in my life I found myself getting closer to God. And, I was my first child, I believe she was around 2. I was talking to a cousin of mine, kind of complaining how I was kind of done with the music idea. And she was like, "Nah, that's kind of silly. You could still do it." So later on that day, I was looking around on a couple different band things, but specifically Craigslist. I found Diamonds to Dust, sent them an email. They had me audition, and about a month later, they told me I was in. So worked out, you know. They were a Christian band, and it was good for me.
So what's your background in starting with metal music? Because I know it's hard enough, I guess, in the Christian family lifestyle. I mean, you know, those who are super like rigid about it, the getting into heavy metal and, you know, the screaming vocals. But for you, even you were raised Catholic. So where was your start in that?
My start, well, actually, my parents were pretty open-minded with the whole thing. My brother always listened to metal. He's also a Catholic, and we go to the same Christian church.
Nice.
He's older than me by probably 15 years, give or take a couple years. But yeah, so they were already been down that path. And, you know, my mom doesn't like it, but not because she thinks it's satanic or anything. Mm-hmm. She's just not completely with it. Yeah, my parents were musicians. You know, they play in a jazz band themselves. Yeah, it's actually... I
don't laugh because it's jazz. I laugh because other than him, the three of us in Blue Fire Horizon are all jazz musicians.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. He writes stuff that I'm like, this doesn't sound quite like metal, but let's like mess with it a little bit and make it a little more metal.
Yeah.
Well, jazz and metal actually can go pretty darn well together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a Pennsylvania band called Burial in the Sky. That was the first band one of the first bands I'd ever played with. And yeah, they pulled out a saxophone mid-set. It was wild. They were fantastic.
Saxophone in
never
metal
seen
music?
Anything like that. So,
wow. Me neither.
Yeah.
I'll take it. But
yeah, no, they were great. I really hope they go far because they deserve it. That was a crazy show.
Yeah, see, you're lucky. Your parents approved of the whole metal thing, and my parents don't think there's anything wrong with it. But my older brothers listened to 90s boy bands. That's what they listened to. So then I came along and I started listening to metal, and my dad was immediately, turn that crap down. It's not playing in my house. It's terrible. I don't like it. No listening to that.
When I started learning vocals, my parents were kind of, you know, on like, they didn't really like that too much either, but eventually they came around. And, yeah. So I can understand that to an extent.
When I was learning how to scream and all that, my dad made me go out and sit in the car and do it because the house, and, you know, it was too loud and too annoying and they didn't want to hear it. So I had to go practice in the car.
Yeah. That wasn't a bad idea. I wish I had thought of that at the time, I guess. Yeah, no, I used to try to practice vocals everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I didn't care who was listening or what was going on. I'd just be doing pig squeals walking down the hallway in high school. People would be looking at me, but you know, it definitely got me to where I wanted to be, you know? So
sure.
Yeah.
Practice is key. You got to do what it takes.
Sometimes I wonder what the people at work think of me because it's loud in the building. So I practice all the time, but people around me can't really hear it unless they're within, you know, a couple feet. But I probably look like an idiot over there practicing. But
I always think about that while I'm on the highway and I'm like practicing our stuff or whatever we're writing, or even just singing along to other stuff. And I'm doing screaming, and I look like I'm ready to just rear end the guy in front of me because it looks like I'm yelling at him.
Yeah.
But I'm just practicing.
Oh, I've had the windows down in my car and I've been, you know, full blast screaming. I was at a stop sign. I was just so into the song. I looked over, some guy was looking at me from the restaurant across the street. I was like, oh, sorry. He was like, oh, rock on, I guess. Yeah, he was.
How to take it.
I love doing vocals in the car, but can be kind of hard to do them while sitting down, definitely.
Sure. Yeah, the breath support's just not there. But
absolutely.
I did want to say before we get into a bunch of other stuff and I forget, I don't know if this isn't a boy crush, I promise, but like you have to be one of the most dynamic vocal screamers especially in Christian, but even in the metal community that I've ever heard. Your screams are just all over the place. And I mean that in the best way. Like you can do anything.
Well, thanks. I practice really hard. I still got a lot of room to grow. I really do appreciate it. I worked really hard.
I mean, and even like Zachariah has reached out to you about your techniques and stuff. And he's like, hey, Hunter, check this out. Even I'm learning from him, learning from you. So,
well, yeah, it's a neat technique. It's that one specifically. That's the Corpus Christi guttural, I believe I showed you. It's not even really a guttural. It's just kind of like I don't even know. It is definitely a form of tunnel screen, but it's got a different overtone.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a cool technique. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I was practicing what you had shown me, and at one point I did something a little bit different, not intentionally, with the high screen with it. And I'm like, that sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to use that. So whenever we release new music, people are gonna have a special little treat.
Good. I'd love to hear it. Definitely send that my way. I would love to. Yeah, I'd love to hear that for sure.
So you said you've been listening to metal music, I mean, most of your life now at this point, but you've been practicing since high school as far as your vocals.
I would say I probably started in the 7th grade. So yeah, that's about 11 years now. Oh God, 11 years. I think I'm 21 still. It's no, it's been more like 13 years, I guess. Yeah.
How old are you now?
Right? Wow, my math is shot. I'm 23. I'm sorry. I'm like really shocked.
He's a kid.
Yeah, he's well, you're 25 too, right?
I say kid, we're both 25.
Yeah, I mean, but it's cool to see young people in the metal scene though, especially people younger than even us, doing that. I mean, our bass player, she's 20 now.
She just turned
20. She did turn 21? Okay, I wasn't sure. So yeah, I mean, we got young people other than our drummer. He's an old man, but
he's in his.
Yeah, that's cool. And Diamonds to Dust, everybody. Well, actually, yeah, the two of the members, I believe Barry is 35 now, and Brandon is almost 30.
I mean,
so the other Brandon Whitty is my age, and Melvin's 26, 27. One of the two. I don't know. I can't remember.
That's all right. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, there's a wide range no matter where you're at, really, but the combination in bands and seeing how that's still progressing the sound it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. I especially like new modern metal is amazing right now. I mean, modern deathcore, especially. I mean, I'm really digging the modern stuff. I really enjoyed the older stuff as well, but I mean, I go back and listen to that stuff, and we've come a long way. For sure. Yeah, production and just techniques. It's a time to be in the metal scene, even if people think it's slowly dying. I strongly disagree.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, I would agree that we definitely need to open up the possibility for newer or different venues other than just all bars. That would be nice. But
yeah, for sure. There's still a lot of really cool venues around. I mean, we've got the Chance up by us, which is a pretty nice venue. But there's a lot of music that goes in and out of that place. I saw Whitechapel there a couple years ago. I've heard Aerosmith has been there. We played with not Madball, Marauder, the hardcore band. Yeah, they were pretty cool. Yeah, no, we've got some venues, but yeah, no, the whole old bar thing definitely can get old pretty quick.
And it's not that I'm against playing there. We've played at a bar, and I'm open to playing there, as long as we need to. Otherwise, it would be nice to see churches being more open to having metal in their, in their spots, on a Friday night even.
For sure. Yeah, I hear Texas has a lot of churches that still are pretty open to metal, but yeah, by me, my church might be open to it, but I don't know if the scene is alive enough exactly like where I am for it to even be, beneficial to either the church or the band. So
I have noticed.
I've noticed the further west I go that it definitely gets more popular. Pennsylvania is actually pretty popular in certain areas. I've seen some pretty booming shows there. Connecticut scene isn't terrible. Well, that's east, but still, it's there. It's just hard to find.
Yeah. Are you in upstate New York? Is that where you?
Technically, yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm upstate because I'm not that far upstate.
Okay.
I'm about an hour from Manhattan, but I mean, you ask the Manhattan guys, they're like, "Yeah, you're upstate."
Oh, I get it. My dad's mom lives in Long Island, so I'm familiar with the area.
Yeah. So if I don't know if you know 684, that main highway right there, I'm right at the top. That's where I live. Yeah.
That's not bad. You're definitely not upstate.
No, not necessarily. I mean, I'm not Buffalo upstate. That's 8 hours away. That's way up there. Yep. But yeah, I don't know. It's a big argument. It's silly.
Well, you guys definitely have more venue options, at least as far as locations that are up. Whereas Wisconsin, you come out here. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever played out here or not, but where the South has 10 churches to every one bar, we have 10 bars to every one church.
Really?
He's not kidding. Down the road from where I grew up, my parents' house is out in the country, and there's a little, tiny little town that has maybe 100 people, and they have 3 bars.
Wow.
In that little town. They've got a convenience store, a gas station, and 3 bars, and that's everything in that entire.
I wonder how business is doing. It's got to be competitive.
No, because people in Wisconsin, they go to one bar, have a couple drinks, then they walk to the next bar and have a couple drinks, then walk to the next bar, have a couple drinks, and then go back to the first one.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I think that's like that at a lot of places.
Wisconsin is the drunkest state in the country, and
it's 7 out of the top 10 cities.
Yep, 7 out of the top 10 cities for the most drunk cities in the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah. So our venues are not. It's not too wide of a range. It's pretty much bars or nothing.
We've got a couple joy.
Yeah. Okay. There are some concert venues that are Christian based and are open to metal music. Which, I mean, for us, from where the majority of the band lives, that's an hour and a half drive. So it's not fantastic.
There's a handful of actual music venues, but for the most part,
But
So, do you guys prefer to play at mostly Christian venues, or are you pretty much open to wherever?
We play wherever we can get booked.
Yeah, we don't really have the ability to choose at the moment.
Yeah.
But we don't really care. Even if we were to be playing every day, every week, whatever it is, it really wouldn't matter to us because obviously the gospel needs to go out to all people.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're not really opposed. It's just we don't necessarily want to be associated as a bar act necessarily.
I gotcha. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess maybe the bar needs a little Jesus, you know?
Yeah, no, we're totally for that. We just,
not all of them are.
Yeah, I guess it's just more of the area, the way that things get associated with bars. They tend to never lose that label, unfortunately. So it makes it a lot harder to play. Like if we were to play only bars, then we would probably never play a church just because of that, just because the churches see it that way. But
right.
It's just biases and all that fun stuff that you get to deal with, the human condition. So
unfortunately, yeah.
But we're open to bringing the gospel wherever we're supposed to be because as soon as we stop following God, we've learned how hard that hits us.
It's tough road, but
so talking Diamonds to Dust as the band, from what you've joined in the last almost 3 years now, of the entire discography, what have you been a part of so far?
So I've been a part of several singles. So let's see, Diamond Pierced Eyes was the first song I was ever a part of, and then came Devil's Forge. And then we've got Demon Slayer, Fate of a Sinner, Dissonant Truth, and the Decisions EP, which is Corpus Christi, Adventure Time, and Silence is Also Suicide. So not too much, but we're really working on trying to get this album out, and it's busy.
Yeah.
Busy work. Yeah.
Are you guys all in the same area as far as where you guys live?
I mean, the rest of the band's about 45 minutes away from me. They're a little more upstate than I am. They live right in the, not necessarily Poughkeepsie, but the Dutchess County area.
Yep.
And we generally just meet up at Melvin's house, which is about 50 minutes from my house.
That's not bad.
So,
No,
no,
Hunter
it's not
lives
too bad.
Hunter lives about 45 minutes. Not that bad.
No,
we make that drive
definitely.
Regularly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, I'm always on the road anyway, since, my job, generally, we get taken to, other states all the time. So I'm pretty used to the drive. 45 minutes feels like 5 minutes for me.
but you're in a big band. You can't be working a second job. I thought you make all your money from Corpus Christi.
Yeah, right. Big band. Yeah, I wish.
Bigger than.
No,
Okay.
I mean, we can't even do a tour. We're so busy. All of us. We're all old men, even though I'm not that old. We work. I mean, we just work so hard. The closest to a tour we're gonna get is coming up this weekend, and we start our little weekender thing, which is really just 2 days for the next 3 months. Saturday, Sunday, and then we're gonna do that. And I believe we have a show in Connecticut, New York. The next one's gonna be in possibly Pennsylvania. I don't know. I can't remember offhand.
That's right.
Yeah, it's I wish we could do some tours, like real tours. That would be amazing. Yeah. I wish we all had more time to be able to get together and really lay down some tracks, but we're doing the best we can.
Yeah, not to turn any of the people who listen to our podcast off from, if they have aspirations or dreams of being a musician in a Christian band or otherwise. But getting to tour level band readiness obviously takes a lot. And even after 10 plus years of being a band, you guys are still working on it. I mean, granted, there's been lineup change, but yeah, it's still going.
Yeah, it's a tough, long road. If the opportunity for a tour came up, I think I would try to jump on it, but it's really tough. I got the 2 kids, and Barry's got his job, which is absolutely insane. He's so busy. Melvin's the same way. All of us are just busy, but I think we would definitely go on at least one big tour one time.
Yeah.
Maybe more, maybe less. We'll have to see.
What do you guys do for work?
I'm a mover. So I pick people's stuff up and I put it down somewhere else.
I see pictures and videos of you like in your truck all the time. So I'm just like, I don't know what he's doing or where he's going, but he's constantly driving somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I'm even in my car now. So, I mean, that was just because, my girl's trying to settle down the kids. So I was just trying to give her some space. But
No, I get it.
No, I'm always on the road, unfortunately.
Well,
It's busy. I'm a big homebody.
I definitely get that. I mean, Zachariah keeps talking. I mean, not that we're looking at a tour anytime soon, but if the opportunity were to come up, it's been discussed. But I got 4 kids at home now. So for me, it's one of those, like, it better pay everything for that entire month and more.
Wow. Yeah.
If I'm leaving my house and I have to come back to a wife who has been watching kids for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yep.
the money better be worth whatever attitude she's going to have towards me.
Well, I would say it's probably, I think there's money to be made, but it's difficult. You have to do budgeting correctly. It's people tend to forget that a band is also a business in a sense, and you have to keep that mindset.
Because we've talked about that too. We're less concerned with the money that goes in. Obviously, if we want it to be our job, money has to come out, but that's not our primary motive. So.
Right. It's just fun, especially, spreading music for God, doing the music you love. And it's a great time. That's really all I need as well. Just hopping on stage and doing what you love to do.
Absolutely. Z, you got any questions?
I had a couple questions that popped up here and there.
I'm good about talking over him until he forgets everything that he actually wants to say. So that's normal.
That's okay. I forget a lot too. I've probably already forgotten 40 things as stated. I don't even know how old I am apparently. Jeez.
We're not supposed to keep track of that. It doesn't matter. Once you turn 21, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's how I thought of it. Yeah.
There's no great milestones until you're
21.
like 55 and can start getting senior citizen discounts.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that day.
My mother-in-law was just talking about that today, that she's turning 25 in February and then she gets a discount on her phone bill.
No, it's definitely a different world between, I mean, even where you guys are to where we are, because you guys are signed, correct?
Not exactly. Manifest Records is owned by our guitar player, Barry, and we mostly just, slap the label on there for the sake of being part of the label. But he actually, when they were open and live before COVID, he was actually doing really well with it. So I would say kinda, but not really. The guitarist, the owners in the band.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe
as
the
far
other
as,
guys you signed, yeah, definitely, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily looking for you guys to be like dropping the names of Rottweiler and other things. It's not like you need to be on that to be a bigger band, but having bands on a label other than even yourself has helped connect you guys and promote you guys even through other bands, which is nice.
Absolutely. Well, social media was definitely a great thing for that as well. I mean, as toxic as it can be, it's a great place to promote any kind of business. Yeah, and just, I mean, Lincoln, we were in the middle of COVID. We released Corpus Christi and we met loads of people. I met you guys. I've met plenty of other Christian people and non-Christian people, and it's just been really great. It really has. It's crazy how just the one song for us was really able to we met so many people, and we some really great connections, and it's just, I don't know what my point is with this. I guess
that's right. The music video for that song, I mean, that's not the song we're focusing on today, but just to touch on it, the music video is phenomenal. I mean, the production was great, and the breakdown, if it hasn't shattered my mind every single time, I'd be surprised. Just I'm still not ready. I mean, and one of our friends, a mutual of mine, and I think he might have talked to you about it or whatever, he created a meme on Facebook, and it was that you keep warning us that the end is coming at the very beginning of the song. And
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he said that to me. Yeah. That was awesome.
So, I mean, like, you warned us, but we're still never ready for the end. And
I find it funny. I did a metal tournament on Facebook.
I think I saw that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the first round, I was doing one song by each band, and Corpus Christi went up against song by Moth Altar. What one was it? I don't remember. But the drummer from Moth Altar, when he saw the post, he's like, "Come on, man, that's not even fair. You put us up against a band that throat shreds Latin over a deathcore breakdown. How are we supposed to compete with that?"
I'm pretty sure he voted for Corpus Christi well.
He voted himself for Corpus Christi and then went in with their band page and voted for Corpus Christi over himself.
Yeah, I think I know the name Moth Altar. I haven't listened to them yet because, oh my gosh, there's just so much music out there. I get overloaded. I honestly, half the time, I don't even listen to music in the car anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, when I practice vocals, it's completely just me making caveman noises to zero music. That's it. Yeah,
that's confidence right there.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna, since you've refreshed that name in my memory, I think I'll go check them out a little later.
Yeah,
Burning Scoria. That's the name of the song.
Scoria?
Burning Scoria.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yep. I'm definitely going to check that out then.
Yeah. Moth Altar is Aaron Ashcroft and Jonathan Franco. They're from Texas. So shout out to them. But yeah, it's funny how when that song came out, I think every Christian metal band, at least, some of us lesser in the indie people, were just like losing our minds over that song.
Thanks. It was a happy accident, I guess.
I guess my only question, because I don't really want to focus on that song, but what was what led you guys to doing the Latin ending for the breakdown?
Well, I'm a Catholic. I really like the part of the church sermon, giving the body and blood of Christ, instead of like, the Christian church, you guys do it the first every Sunday, I believe the first of the month. We do it every Sunday.
Church. Depends on the church.
Yeah. But my Christian church does it the first Sunday of the month. So we do it every Sunday, and it's this whole ceremony,
Yep.
It's, what is it, Luke? I can't remember the exact scripture. What would they call that code? I can't remember offhand the exact terminology for, I tried to fit that into the breakdown in English, and it sounded awful. So it was probably 3 a.m, and I really don't know where it came from. I was really tired. I worked all day, and I was just really struggling to write this song. And so I started watching some Latin regular masses on YouTube, and it led to some Latin ones. And I, skipped to that part. It sounded cool, and it was actually really beautiful in the Catholic ceremony there. But I Googled the words, and I put it at the end of the breakdown, and I kind of formulated it in my head, went to the studio maybe a month later, and it was wild. It was wild.
Still is.
I think it came out really well. Guys were stoked, so we put it out there, and I'm really proud of it.
I still remember hearing that song the first time, and I'm usually pretty good at understanding like metal and lyrics and stuff. And I remember like getting so frustrated with this song because I don't like looking up lyrics for songs because I can't understand it. I'd rather listen to it 50 times and then finally piece together what they're saying.
Right.
And I was like getting so mad at this song. I'm like, I understand everything up until this ending part. And it's like, I can't even figure out what one of these words is. I have no idea what he's saying. Then finally I just broke down and Googled the lyrics. I'm like, no wonder I can't understand what he's saying.
Yep. I wasn't entirely sure until like in the breakdown the first time through when I heard the Corpus Mio. I was like, okay, I know now where we're at. But that didn't help me up until that point, because I was like, this stuff is just brutal, and I'm still trying to like catch up with the fact that this is even happening. So I wasn't even thinking about lyrics, but yeah, as a jazz musician, that's not not exactly what one of my strong suits. So I let him worry about the screaming stuff.
All right, so getting into our actual song today, rather than I'm glad you didn't pick Corpus Christi, just because like not that I don't, obviously I love that song, but like it's your biggest song. I like when our guests pick a song that's not their biggest song to kind of go over. So I like
Demon Slayer is actually my favorite song. I love that song. That was like, wasn't the first song I ever wrote, but it was the most fun for me. So yeah, I mean it kind of speaks for itself. It's just talking about killing demons and hell. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love the beginning of it because it just goes so hard right at the beginning. I listen to it, and every time if Hunter and I are in the same room listening to that song, we both start laughing, not because it's funny, but just because it's so aggressively heavy right from the start that it's.
Yeah, that one that took a lot. That took like 30 takes to get right, because it's quick and it's just a lot of breath. It was all one breath. Oh, it was rough.
How is it to do live?
Yeah.
Horrible. It is horrible to do that. Yeah. Pretty sure I had to go through that song twice today, because we generally do band practice on Sundays about 8 a.m. And it's just, generally 3-4 times after that song, I'm done for the day completely.
Could only imagine.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Oh man. So with the lyrics behind it, I mean, like you said, it's a fun song. It's just about killing demons. I mean, does that have any root in, I guess, the Catholic beliefs? Because not saying that other denominations or sects don't believe in, demonology and all that. Obviously it's something, because the Bible's pretty clear that angels did fall with Lucifer. So I guess I don't really know if that has any basis in that necessarily, or if it's just
I don't believe so. I just used to, as a kid, I used to have a lot of nightmares, and they all involved, just demons, hell monsters, and stuff like that. So, I used to watch a lot of like paranormal movies of people getting possessed. And as like kind of masochistic as that sound, I kind of like really enjoy that now, just that kind of stuff, even though like it used to scare the absolute life out of me.
Yeah.
I enjoy that stuff. So I actually really like writing about it. And even Corpus Christi, it kind of falls in the same lines of like, like it's about revelations. It's a fun song about the end of the world. It's, that's what it is. But yeah, it's not necessarily. No, I don't think Catholics are like have any specific, like, try to prove or disprove demons in any sense. No.
Yeah. No, I guess I only asked that because there was something I read a few years ago now where the Vatican had actually opened up their training of people to
that's right.
exorcise demons.
They totally do exist. Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. So yes, actually, Catholics do like to.
It's not that they're like obsessed with it. It was, I wasn't trying to be like Catholics are obsessed with demons. It's no, I mean, every Christian should understand that there's a spiritual war that we're not even seeing happen literally in front of us. But I know that the Vatican was they're like, we're going to make sure that we have our people trained for this. But then I think it was like 2018, 2017, that they were like, yeah, there's plenty of spiritual warfare going on now that we're like, we're going to open it up to other people now because we need them.
Yeah.
So.
I believe because. Yeah, no, there's several I can't ever remember what I'm trying to talk about. It's because we're on a podcast and I'm going to go in the house and know exactly where I'm trying to go with this. But there's definitely some crazy stories of the Catholic Church going and exorcising people, whether or not, it's actually like, because I've always viewed possession as something the devil would use to be a little more sneaky. He's not just going to make some kid turn his head in a 360 and walk on his hands and feet in a bridge position. He's going to make somebody do something evil, like shoot and kill somebody and, or rob a store, something like that. Like that to me is possession. Maybe drugs could be something that the devil uses to possess somebody, stuff like that. Even alcohol, maybe, you do weird stuff on alcohol. Sometimes you can't even explain it. Stuff you would never do sober. That to me is more like actual demon possession, but I just lyrically I like to have a lot of fun with just the idea of a big horned beast with a crazy bloody looking war axe coming after you and killing it. Yeah, just stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking of.
You should have talked to the people who made the Doom game. I don't know if you play video games.
I do. I'm just playing Cyberpunk. I love that game too. I
should have had the Doom creators put Demon Slayer in there because that would have been a great song to be killing some demons too.
That would have been awesome. I wish I don't know if they would. I don't know. Maybe we would hit them up and be like, "Hey, we got this song." Shoot.
I mean, musically, it definitely fits with the Doom game.
Did you ever play Killing Floor 2?
Yes.
Yeah, that's got Impending Doom in there.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge video game guy.
I'm not.
Yeah. I oh my gosh, I've got stuff from consoles from way before me. My console collection's pretty decent. I'm really into video games actually. Big Zelda nerd specifically.
I have a GameCube sitting on my computer desk at home, so I haven't been able to find any memory cards for it, but once I do, I'll be playing again.
Well, I could send you one. I got a ton if you want.
Man, it's just I'm too lazy to order it offline. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I like to go to flea markets and like just game stores, classic game stores. They have them all around. I just shop around, pick them up. So, yeah, that's one of my hobbies.
Well, as much as I'd like to keep talking about video games,
I know, right?
I gotta stop myself and make sure that we get back onto the song.
Yeah, my focus is all over the place. I'll trail you off to a million different directions.
It's not even you. Like if the three of us were to ever get together for an extended period of time, we'd have 1,000 things to talk about, and the day might be over before we realize it. That's just who we are too. So
yeah.
Yeah,
well, we would love to get together with you guys and play a show sometime, make it work somehow.
I mean, hey, you guys are only like, us if we could find a venue right in the middle.
I don't know. I was talking to Matt. I think Matt told me he was about 14 hours away from you guys. Matt from his Lions and Lambs.
Yeah.
Because he played Life Fence, right? And that's right in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that was about 14. He's 4 hours away from me, so I can only imagine what that trip's going to be like.
Yeah, I mean, depending on where you're driving from, and also, I guess, traffic, depending on how you get through New York into Pennsylvania and all that fun stuff. But, it's about, I don't know. I made it to New York in about 15, 16 hours when I went out there a few years ago.
Yeah,
That's not too bad.
No.
I definitely remember talking to Matt at Life Fest because
gosh,
that conversation hasn't left my head since, because I was talking to him about their EP, and then like I was super excited to listen to it, and then I was like almost disappointed. I told him, like, I'm super disappointed. He's like, what? He got like his face dropped, and I'm like, because there wasn't enough music on it. Like, I wanted more. But the thing that has stuck with me is that I said Misery Signals, which is the band, not Misery Season. And he said, what'd you say? And I said Misery Signals again. And he just kind of dropped it there. And then like literally 10 minutes after talking to him, I like kind of stopped him in tracks. I'm like, you idiot. Like,
yeah. So if you see Matt, let him know that Zachariah has been preparing his apology to him for like since July, since Life Fest. So, but
I'll let him know.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to have him on. I honestly haven't reached out to him, but it's definitely coming up here soon.
Yeah,
we don't want to take up a whole lot more of your time. We usually do a topic kind of thing here, but we've kind of covered a decent amount of stuff. So, was there anything else from this song that you specifically wanted to highlight for Demon Slayer?
I don't know. I think we covered it. I just told it like it was. It's just fun, talking about killing demons. I'm probably going to do plenty more of that, although I am going to start trying to get more into some more scripture-based stuff. I have a lot of studying to do. I haven't actually studied the Bible in quite a while. I do go to church every Sunday, but it's been some time.
Sure.
So, yeah, I've got to, just get my reins and get back onto that.
I don't think... I think if you ask any Christian out there, do you study the Bible as much as you should? I don't think there's a single person that's going to say, yeah, I think I study it enough. I probably study too much. I don't think there's a single person that's going to say that they think they're doing enough. So, you're not alone there. I certainly am not.
I mean,
scripture as much as I should be.
Even for you who memorized a significant portion of the New Testament in your youth. And then for me, I've led full studies, like verse by verse studies through like Romans and Acts and a bunch of the New Testament, leading it myself. I'm still like, man, what was that passage again? It
that's
takes
me in
constant.
a nutshell. I forget everything. I am a mess. I am an anxious turd. I'm completely shot. Yeah. Talking to me is like trying to talk to a really, really, really crazed fly. It's just, I'm everywhere. I'm all over the place.
Sounds like my wife. She always says she's a goldfish.
Yeah.
she can't like stay on one topic for more than
No, I have so much to say, and what I'm saying is absolutely nothing.
People are here for that though.
Yeah, right.
It's different when it's us. They don't want to hear that. But when you have nothing but everything to say, then they're like, man, it's Christian. We're just going to listen anyway. So,
yeah, well, probably be like, this guy's kind of a mess. Yeah.
I think they're just interested to hear that you have similar interests and hobbies as they do. So,
oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm still just a person.
Tell you what, though, at some point we got to find like a position right in the center of us, you, and as Lions. All
for sure.
Descend on one music venue for a night.
Absolutely.
Take a go
we
of
would
it.
we would totally be down for that. I can't speak for as Lions and Lambs, but I'm sure they would be down for it too. Yeah, if you guys ever wanted to get together and do that, we could definitely work something out. We would like to expand our horizons. We usually just stay on the East Coast. Going more west sounds like a lot of fun.
Sure. I mean, we're up for a mini tour even at some point. So
yeah,
sounds like you guys are too. So if we could combine those, that would be even better.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, we are 100% down for that.
All right. Anything that you had for him before we close? Did you remember any of your questions? Nope. All right. Perfect. That's typical. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We were glad to have Christian on, and hope to have you guys on once you release the album so that we can talk more about your guys' music.
Absolutely. Hopefully I could have the rest of the band back me up so I'm not so all over the place.
We totally get that. Well,
yeah.
Thank you guys for listening.
So much for having me.
Yeah. Glad to have you on.
Thank you for the listeners,
All 7 of them.
Hey, 7's good.
All right. Well,
all right.
Thank you. And thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you again soon.
All right. God bless you guys. Thank you.
You too, Christian. You can help support us by heading over to anchor.fm/TWIE pod and clicking on the donate button where you can select one of a few monthly donation rates of $1, $5, or $10. All money helps keep this podcast up and running, as well as supports lesser known Christian artists. Thank you for listening, and God bless.